this message is for Joseph. So regarding branching in OCS, when you go in, so let's say there's 160 students in your class, not until, I forget how long it is if it's like a 10-week program, but man, not until like a couple weeks before graduation does the list of available jobs come out, available branches. So I can tell you this, it's really based on like what's sent over from the East Coast. So whether it's DC or Congress or Senate, I forget how jobs are dictated in the military or who sources that, or if it's just like the heads of the military. But there's somebody up there. Feel free to educate me through the comments if you know who. Somebody will come up with that like month's list of needs for the military. And a lot of rumors will go around where the previous class will say, oh my gosh, we only had one Intel slot or one finance slot. And then in my class, there was like 13 Intel slots or something. So it really depends on just a lot of unknown variables or not non-disclosed variables that your classmates or anybody prior or people active duty in the military don't know. So people will just say all this stuff about what branches are rare and what branches are super common. You won't know that until you basically like get to that week. So I was ranked number 160 out of 160. So I was in last place because of a clerical error when I failed land nav and I went from Alpha company to Bravo. So when I entered in Bravo, it took them like a month or two to update my standing. I ended up graduating, I think, number 12 out of 160. And I branched engineer. I asked to go engineer and I got it. Now, if somebody branched like 150, it doesn't mean that they didn't get what they wanted, because I forget what they call it. There's like, I think it's tiered in how they branch. So there's a lot of nuances to this. And I forget how the gameisms work, but I can tell you it's not like all the best jobs go away if you're not, number 1 through 50 or whatever it is. So it's really more complicated than people make it sound. Also, depending on your grader, your OML points could drop or could skyrocket based on what person grades what lanes and how they interpret your standing and whatnot. And also, like, pretty crazy things happen. Like, one guy was giving a brief. This other guy, who was very, very much a toxic dude, fell asleep during the brief intentionally. And so the grader docked the dude down who was running the lane, the sticks lane, because he let somebody fall asleep during his brief. And meanwhile, that dude absolutely crushed it when it came to supporting the other peer who did fall asleep. So there's just like, man, there's little things like that. But oh, dude, like just the knives that come out for OML sometimes. But don't sweat it, because people will try to play games and they'll come around like, hey, so what rank are you? What number are you? What number are you in class? Like, what number are you? What are you branching? What do you want to branch? How many of those? Like, they get weird. People get weird. They go around with these little lists. I'm like, wait, you want to branch Intel? Oh, you want to be infantry? Okay, cool, whatever. There's like a bunch of people that want infantry, or I don't want that. And it's just like the most drama. Like, I went full-blown Zen mode where I only talked to like my buddies. Then everybody else, when I heard them like just chirping about like how rare certain I just totally toned that out, or tuned it out. I did not pay attention. I didn't know. So for instance, when I was ranked 160, I thought I was 160. Like, I did not know. I thought I just pissed someone off and they hated me, and that I was just the world's worst human being or the world's worst officer candidate. But I just told myself, dude, I signed a contract to friggin' be a janitor if I have to. Whatever. 3 years is gonna blow by, and then I'll be out. So I'm not gonna sweat it, because otherwise I would spiral and turn into one of those people who'd walk around weird and competitive and just kind of slimy about the whole thing. So that was my philosophy. It's so atypical. I understand. I'm like an old man and a monk in a lot of ways, I guess. I'm very monkish. I'm just weird and different, and I didn't want to stress over stuff that people were stressing over, because there were so many unknown variables that, like, why attempt to hack an algorithm when you don't know what's black box in there? You know what I'm saying? That's how it felt. So these people were walking around super balled up on all these emotions or getting feisty. And some people were like, dude, trying to report people for stuff and get them in trouble so they can dock them OML points. Like, oh, you say I overheard you say this, so therefore I'm offended. And they did it just to get a leg up on them. We had some weird stuff go down. And the cadre stepped in and said, hey guys, like ethically, you can't be doing this stuff, you know? And these are future officers. And I'm like, dude, you want to get bureaucratic right now from before you even like pin LT? Like, man, God help your soldiers, dude. Like if I ever saw an LT like that, whew, man, I would just want to deck them if I heard them being how they were to one another. And, you know, I tell people that, like, look, if you're treating your peers like this, how are you going to treat your subordinates? Like, you need to check this behavior right now. And it was so cool when people got caught, you know, by cadre, just because the cadre, like, dude, these guys have been to war and stuff, you know? So they know what the job is about when it comes down to it. They go up to these guys like, hey, like, you're cheating. I saw you cheat. Or you're being deceptive. I see you being deceptive. Like, are you kidding me? And they just get lit up. And it was this moment of, like, not angry, but, like, disappointed leaders, right? So the cadre would tell them, like, you know, you better fix this before you become a leader in the military. And, man, I stand by that. Like, you do not do this stuff. So branching was, man, created a lot of stress. But I'll keep this video short. If you have specifics on it, I'll let you know. But yeah, that list doesn't come out. It's not like pre-released or anything. It's the cadre don't even know until the day it comes out. And then all of a sudden they have everybody line up, and you line up 1 through 160, and there you go. You start selecting off the list. Like, what do you want? I want infantry. Okay, cool. Scratch that off the list. We have, you know, 25 infantry slots. You got one of them. Next guy. So if the first 25 people all want infantry, and then you're number 26, you're not getting it, right? Unless you do like the double, I forget what it's called when you branch two different things. So you branch infantry, let's say, or you branch like signal, serve up until you're a captain, go to triple C for infantry. So you branch both of them. It's like hybridized between two MOSs. But all right, yeah, let me know your questions. Okay, bye-bye.